Hi everyone, welcome back to Gavin Reads It All. It is currently 11:30 p.m. Quite late. Probably the latest I've started a vlog in quite some time. But I was actually going to end up doing like a 24-hour reading vlog and start at midnight and end at midnight. And yeah, I've been up since 8 a.m, so that would have been a bad idea. So what I'm doing instead is I am going to be tackling my 100th book of the year in this video, as well as some other things. Like, this is going to be like a pretty chill, normal vlog. But I did on Instagram a couple of days ago ask for some suggestions and recommendations for what my 100th book of the year should be. So I got quite a lot of good suggestions, and I really want to focus on the books that I already own, things I can feasibly read. So I have compiled those results, or at least some of them that I think is going to be really good to read as my 100th book of the year. And I compiled them all and I put it to a vote on my Patreon. So my Patreons are going to vote for what my 100th book of the year is going to be. And I'm very excited to find out what's going to be. The poll has been live for just over an hour. If you want to enjoy the video, please do give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Let's find out what my 100th book is going to be. Although you probably already know, because it'll probably be in the thumbnail, baby. I've got to get up so early as well. Like, why am I doing this at this time of night? I don't know. Okay, I can already see a clear winner right now. Like, this is not going to change. Like, that is a clear winner right now. So yeah, I posted it an hour ago and I still have 12 hours left to vote on the poll. But as you can see on the screen right now, these are all the books that I saw in the suggestions that I kind of fancied the most. And so I put it on this poll. And yeah, it looks like Dungeon Crawler Call 2 by Matt Dinniman is winning. And they know that's kind of what I would have loved to have read the most, because I have been dying to continue the series. I really have. So this will be my 100th. I'm so super excited and happy about this. I will be able to start it in the morning. I'm not starting it tonight. It's too late. Fuck that. The second book in Dungeon Crawler Call's Doomsday Scenario, is going to be my 100th book. I do also want to try and read over the next couple of days Gregor the Overlander by Suzanne Collins, because it's my Patreon book club pick that I need to read by this Saturday. And yes, Suzanne Collins, you heard me right, the author of the Hunger Games series. She wrote a middle grade series first called Gregor the Overlander. Oh no, it's called The Underland Chronicles. The first book is called Gregor the Overlander. But yeah, she wrote this before Hunger Games, and I am super excited to read it. I've owned this for years. And yeah, I have a book club for it on Saturday, and I haven't even started. So this will still be my 100th book, though. This will be book number 100. This will most likely be book number 101. And then there most likely will be another book that I could read in this video. What's come second? Oh, okay. Grief. You Shall Not Pass Without Sucking Me Off by Missy Love has come in second place. With 75 votes at the minute. So I feel like that is most likely going to end up being read as well. The next nearest one after that is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I mean, this could all change. I will recheck in 12 hours, but it is about time that I read Invisible Life. I've had it since 2020. Where the hell is it? It's here somewhere. Just don't know. Oh, here it is. This could end up getting read eventually in this video. This is looking like it could be the tentative TBR. This is such a random ass TBR for this video, I swear. But you know what? Sometimes we love ourselves a good random ass vlog. Call's Doomsday Scenario, Gregor the Overlander, You Shall Not Pass Without Sucking Me Off, and The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Hey! I mean, there are two options after that are tied. Both at 48. We have Wolf Song and Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. One of those could potentially overtake The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, but we'll see. We'll see. I was just about to reply to Jan, like, because Jan's just wrote, confused as to why you forgot to include a reread of Dowry, but I'll forgive you because my baby Addie LaRue was there, and Addie LaRue could have been read. I was literally about a reply, and Jan, if you're watching this, I'm not going to post it. I'm going to instead say it here in front of everyone. Confused as to why you thought you had any skin in the game. That's so mean, though. That's so mean, so I'm not going to say it. Right, so I think it's time for bed. Oh, I need to check to see, where is my phone? Oh, where did I leave my phone? Oh, have I left it upstairs? Right, let's double check that Patreon poll. Make sure that Call's Doomsday Scenario by Matt Dinniman is the winner. It is the next day, and I'm about to leave so I can go to Edinburgh to see G from Book Roast. Haven't seen her in like 2.5 years in person, and we've been seeing for ages. I should get myself up there and just like catch up. I also did training this morning, half an hour earlier, so that I could get home on time. Yeah, Dungeon Crawler Call 2 now has 155 votes, so it's definitely winning. Definitely taking this on the train with me, and I have the audiobook as well to read along with, because the audiobooks for this series is incredible. You Shall Not Pass, 111 votes. Invisible Life, Addie, LaRue, 101 votes. So yeah, those are the three, and then plus Gregor the Overlander. Yeah, perfect. It's pretty much the same. That seems to be the actual official TBR now. But yeah, I'm excited to go see G. I also got first class on the train there and back. £68. £68 for first class. Like, that was a steal. That was an actual steal. After last week as well, this time last week, I had that awful 8-hour train journey home, and it was just so awful and packed and awful that it's actually kind of nice to like be able to look forward to getting on the train, because it shouldn't be packed and it's like a nice place and a nice part of it. Now, I don't often do like first class, oh my god, I'm not that kind of gal, but I thought special occasion today, I'm going to see a friend. But yeah, should be lovely. I'll obviously bring you along with me to Edinburgh, and then I can officially start reading my 100th book of the year. Yesterday was so good. I freaking loved it. Going to see G. Oh my gosh. We ended up doing this dots thing. I keep forgetting what the place is called. But there's actually going to be one opening in Newcastle, hopefully this year. I did see it coming soon. And I can't wait to go back. It was so much fun. But essentially it was like dots, but it was kind of connected to a television. And you could play different kinds of games. So you could play Snakes and Ladders, for instance. And depending on where you throw the dot and it lands on the board, is like what the dice roll was. Just for example, it's like one of the games. There were so many games, but it was so funny because Jay got all the way at the top and I was doing so shit. Jay got all the way at the top and she honestly only needed, I think, like 1 or something to win, but she ended up rolling like a 3 or a 4. And when you're doing Snakes and Ladders, you have to like do those spaces. So she went on the winning thing, but had to go back 3 or something like that. But she landed on the snake that took her all the way back down to the very first square. That was so funny. I got a bullseye a couple of times as well, surprisingly. I haven't played dots in such a long time, but got a bullseye. But Jay won overall. Like out of all the games they played, she won overall. There was another one called Killer where you have to land on your like kind of section. Like you get a number, you have to land on that number 3 times before you get like this like killer dot, and then you have to hit your opponent's number in order to like be like a hitman kind of thing. It was so fun. Honestly, I just genuinely loved it. So that was in Edinburgh. It was in like the small section that I'd never been in before. So yeah, it was just really fun. Loved seeing G again. Hopefully we can do something again like very, very soon. But I did start Carl's Doomsday scenario on the train to Edinburgh, and then I read more of it on the way back, and then I ended up finishing it off when I got home. This is the shortest dungeon crawler Carl book, and looking at the other ones, you probably can't see them just now, but looking at the other ones, you can just see like how much more massive they get. Like, look at that orange one, The Eye of the Bedlam Bride. It's like over 800 pages. So this only took me around about like 6 hours to read in total. And for it being my 100th book of the year, I'm so glad because this was a great sequel. It was so much fun yet again. One of the reasons why I love the Dungeon Crawl Call series is just how fun it is. If you don't know what the Dungeon Crawl Call series is, oh my gosh, I'm kind of sick of explaining it, I'm not gonna lie. But aliens do take over Earth. Everyone who is left alive gets put into these dungeons and they have to go through all the different levels and they have to survive. It is a lit RPG. It genuinely reads like a video game and it's so funny, so good. And in this one, it was so cool as well because it's also being broadcast as a reality television show. You actually get more of a look into that in this one than I think you do in the first one. So we have this world expanding, which I really appreciated. And especially since a lot of the NPCs were a little bit more explored too. So you do get obviously like the other crawlers, aka the people who have been like put into this place. And I think you actually feel like a lot more sympathy towards like NPCs. And I appreciated the fact that we were getting characters who we otherwise probably wouldn't have really like cared for, but we actually got something there and it was so good. And the characters we do care for, like Carl, Donut, oh, still freaking love them. Donut is going on like this big character arc. I really do feel like she's coming such a long way from the first book. And she's a kind of, well, not exactly just a comic relief character, but she does provide a lot of the laughs. And even then, like, she still manages to deliver. But she isn't just, I guess, like, I did find her a little bit annoying in the first book. I still loved her, but I still found her a little bit annoying. I really should have worn my Princess Donut shirt. I do have Princess Donut shirt. I'll wear it tomorrow, I promise. If it's not in the wash. Is it in the wash? I can't remember. I'll have to have a look. Oh my god, the rain has just come down so heavy. Oh my god, you need to see this. I get on my phone. Oh, and now it started to go a little bit slower. Damn it. But it just came down on the window so hard there. It has been miserable, absolutely miserable outside. It was raining this morning when I went to the gym. It was raining yesterday when I got back home from Edinburgh. In Edinburgh, it was absolutely fine. It was just windy. It was just windy in Edinburgh. Anything else to say about this book? I ended up giving this book 4 stars. I didn't love it as much as the first book because the first book felt more like a tutorial kind of level, especially since this is having like this video game aspect to it. And the first book felt a little bit like a tutorial. And I kind of love that. Sometimes I love tutorials in video game worlds because, I don't know, it just feels like you're being introduced to such an exciting new prospect. And in this one, it is developed a bit more, but like they're going on like these quests and some of it feels a little bit side questy, which isn't a bad thing, but it didn't really feel like it provided a whole lot in terms of like the overall narrative of the story. And obviously it did, like we still get a continuation into some of these storylines that I really do think will be very cool to continue following in the third book when I get to it. But I think I preferred a lot of the scenarios in the first book a bit more. And yeah, it's absolutely fine as well to have a book in this series because there's so many of them now that doesn't really give 5-star. I don't need every single book in the series to be 5-star. I just want to be entertained the entire time. And by God, I was entertained the entire time. Exactly the same with the audiobook too, because I did listen to the audiobook and read along physically at the same time. And the audiobook is still just absolutely freaking phenomenal. Like it just provides so much more to the story and the characters and just everything. And I freaking love it. Okay. Freaking love it. So I loved this, but it was a 4-star. I don't think it was as good as the first book, but I'm not concerned about the series or anything because I still feel like I'm going to enjoy it so much. So can't wait to read the third book now. Well, I'm not reading it now. I'll read it eventually. Hopefully it won't take as long because I did read the first book last year. It was one of my favorite books of last year. And then it took 6 months to finally read the sequel. Genuinely disgusting. So I think I want to maybe read Gregor the Overlander next by Suzanne Collins. Because this was one that wasn't on the poll, but it's one that I need to read now in like 2 days time because I do have my live show for it in 2 days. And then depending on if I get that done early enough, then I might read You Shall Not Pass Without Sucking Me Off. Because if I can knock these 2 out today, because it is Thursday, if I can knock these 2 out today, maybe spend a couple of days reading The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue to finish off this vlog. And then at least that way with my schedule, I'm keeping on top of things, you know? So yeah, that's the plan, Jan. I might do some editing today too. I just have an urge. Oh gosh, guys, there is work being done next door. You know, the house on Gavsteria Lane? Not the real name, parody of Desperate Housewives, just in case you're worried I'm doxing myself. But there was some drama, obviously, next door last year, and it turned out my neighbours were criminals, and I had just moved in. So it was like a bit funny. It was a bit funny. But the house was bought next door months and months and months ago, and the new landlord is going to be like renting it out. I don't know when, but there needs to be so much work done inside. And when I got home from training this morning, I opened the door, like my door, like there wasn't a car outside or anything, so I didn't know if anyone was next door. But I opened my front door, and oh my gosh, the noise was so loud. What is that? Is Ash hiding from the loud noises? Is he hiding on my work chair, are you? I genuinely thought it was coming from inside my house. I was looking all over. I was like, oh my God, that's either my boiler or my vibrator. Gotta be one of them. And I was genuinely worried. It was, well, honestly, either of them I'd be worried about. But no, actually, it did turn out that there is someone next door, you know, working. So I did knock. I genuinely don't mind the noise. Like, I know it must be so hard for them to do, especially when there's like two houses like next to it. Like that is the middle house. I'm on the end house. The other neighbors on the other end. So this is like the house in the middle of us. And I feel so bad as well for the neighbors like further down because they do night shifts Sunday through Thursday. And so like they sleep during the day and the noise must be keeping them up as well. Oh my God. So I did knock just to find out like when they were finishing because I obviously couldn't film with all of that noise. And I just want to know like when I could start. And so like I knocked and the guy who was doing the work is so nice, like genuinely so nice. And he like was so apologetic. And I was like, don't worry about it. Like I know this needs to be done. I just need to know like when I can start work because, you know, I do videos and like just give me a time of when you'll be done with the noisy work and I'm fine. I'm good. So he said, I'll probably be done around about dinner time. So he did knock on the door about like 15, 20 minutes ago to say, oh, the noisy work is over now. And so I can like crack on, which is so good. Like I genuinely don't mind there being so much noise next door as long as I know when it's going to stop. Because if I don't know when it's going to stop, I'm just going to go crazy. But it was so loud. Like Ash and Toby were looking at me like, Daddy, make it stop. But yeah, that's something I'm going to be looking forward to over the next few months, I imagine, you know. He did actually let me inside as well to see. And oh my God, what a shithole. What a shithole. The last neighbours definitely left their impression on the place. They've definitely been burning things inside. They left the kitchen such a tip. Like he's had to pull out the entire kitchen and replace it with a new one. There was like so much damage done to the living room as well that he's taken off. Like there was a brick future wall, which was why there was so much noise today. A brick future wall, which was on the other side of my wall, which I definitely heard. I think you might have to go back to see like all the Gavsteria Lane drama. But I talked about it in the vlogs I uploaded, I think in July and August last year. July and August 2024 to be precise. But the one time I ended up having to phone the police was when I heard so much shouting. And then I heard the woman next door push the man into that wall, the brick wall, and I could hear it through, like it shook the wall so much. And so I imagine there was just like a whole lot of damage done there as well. Also the dogs being in there as well. There was like a lot of carpet damage and stuff. And those poor dogs, actually, I do hope they're okay. Out of all of that, I just genuinely hope those huskies have a better home. Because yeah, I also heard the police say dog nappers, you know, when I was eavesdropping. So yeah, it was a time. It was a time. So I haven't been able to do anything until now, really. I mean, I've been doing like little bits and bobs because I'm also filming a month in the life of a content creator. So I have been doing like little bits and bobs like emails and stuff. But I do want to maybe start reading. I haven't finished Gregor the Overlander. I am on page 181. So I actually only have such a small piece to go. I ended up reading for like 3 hours yesterday. And if I just read for another hour, I would have finished, absolutely. But it got to a point where I was like, I just don't want to read anymore. I just want to chill and sit down and just have myself a decaf coffee and watch some YouTube. And that's what I did. So I could have finished it, but I'm actually not going to finish it today either. It is Friday and my live show for this is tomorrow. So I might wait until, you know, a few hours before my live show and finish it then. So that's definitely fresh. I am liking this so far. It's not really like blowing me away or anything, but it's definitely reminding me of like Alice in Wonderland, for instance. So I haven't told you what this is about, but this does follow Gregor and he is looking after his little sister Boots. I'm sure she's only like 2 years old and she is so cute. And they are staying with, I think it's their aunt. And Gregor, he ends up having having to do like chores and things, which he's fine to do. He's 11 years old. He's fine to do because he's like trying to help his mum and stuff. His dad disappeared years ago. And when he's doing like the laundry and stuff and he's got his sister Boots, they notice a grate that is open, and this grate actually takes them to Underland. So definitely I feel Alice in Wonderland inspired. And there is like this prophecy for Gregor as well. And he is going to be like this kind of hero, and he is looking for his father. So, you know, like there's a lot to play here. Definitely feeling like it has all of those hallmarks of a adventurous middle grade. And the writing style is so different to the Hunger Games. Like obviously it will be because the Hunger Games is like dystopian young adult and definitely not middle grade. But like just the writing style, I thought I would notice, you know, repeated, I don't know, like writing stylistic choices, but it's genuinely so different. Like you could tell me the Hunger Games and this was written by two different people and I believe you. And obviously as well because it's different genres, but do you know what I mean? Like it just doesn't feel like Suzanne Collins whatsoever. But saying that though, it is so adventurous and it is sparking my imagination, which is always great for a middle grade and maybe in a boring ass adult now. It's always nice to go back to the genre and just kind of remind myself of like childhood and, you know, all this, that, and the other. So yeah, it feels pretty good. There is like a bit more heaviness to it as well, especially with Gregor's role as an 11-year-old and like, you know, having all this responsibility on him since his dad left. So there's definitely this prevalent theme of family and I guess like our roles within it and how we can also help our family, going the extra mile for our family as well. It's just so sweet and nice too. But I am flying through and I'm worried I don't have too many opinions that I could dissect. And we are having this book club discussion and I'm just worried a little bit that I might not have too much to say. Like I'm enjoying it, I'm liking it, but I feel like what I'm going to say about this is probably going to be surface level. So yeah, it's just like one of those things where I am liking it, but I just don't really have that much of an opinion. It was nice to just sit down and read for a good few hours, put my phone away. Oh my gosh, my phone's been so distracting recently. So yeah, I haven't finished this just yet, but I will, which actually I do have a plan of action today. I do want to start The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and I might do audio for this, because I believe I might have bought this in an Audible sale years ago. And if not, I'll see if it's on like Libby or Everend or something, because I am fancying maybe an audiobook. Like, I don't know if I kind of just want to like sit and read with my eyeballs right now, but I want to listen to as much of this as possible today. And then tonight, I do have some like Passion Star martini, like pre-made cocktail. I might try and put it in my slushy machine, but it didn't really work that well when I tried to do the strawberry daiquiri one when my friend stayed a few weeks ago. And I might see if I can maybe change what I do with it. Maybe, I mean, I've got some like sugar syrup that I might be able to like put in that might help with it, make it more of a slush. So I might try and do passion fruit, passion star, porn star martini cocktails later with the slushy machine and read all of You Shall Not Pass Without Sucking Me Off. Because it is a Friday night. I don't have a live show today. I think this could be really good to break up reading a middle grade, a adult book that I think is fantasy. And it's about damn time I read a romance. It's been a couple of months, I think, since I read a proper romance. Oh my god, I think I might be coming down with a cold as well. I've been sneezing quite a few times. I had a headache today. You know, I was doing training and I was like, I've got a headache. I kind of don't want to do this. I still did it, but I was in so much pain. Like, my legs are in pain still. My legs have been in pain for a couple of days, actually, now. So maybe I'm just, like, feeling a little bit sorry for myself, too. I'll finish my coffee first, do some bits on the computer, then I'll start reading Invisible Life. Actually, I want to say if I do have it. Take my hand. Yeah, in my library, I already have it. Oh, shit, I also have all the Twilight audiobooks, too. I didn't even realize I had those. Oh my gosh, I need to go through my Audible library and see what I've got. Some of these I'm like, oh my god. Oh, I have the audiobook for Les Mis. 67 hours and 53 minutes. I totally forgot I had that one. That's good because I've been saying I want to read that this year. Oh, this is actually so fun. Okay, say hello to my sushi machine. Freaking love it. So I do have passion fruit martini, as I said. And I do have some updates. I have read quite a bit of Invisible Life by LaRue today, and I've done some bits and bobs, but this might take a little while, so I want to do the passion fruit martini, see if it actually works this time. I did have a strawberry daiquiri one of this, and I just put it in, nothing else, and it just didn't come out properly, so I'm just gonna pour it in, like all of it. Because why the fuck? No, I know it's just me, but can't even see, can you? I literally just blocked it for you, didn't I? Okay. So that's in. And then I was thinking maybe if I add cane sugar, because sometimes I add this to cocktails anyway, like when I'm making them, you know, elsewhere, like with my blender, maybe adding in cane sugar will like thicken the slush. Because yeah, one of the problems is it just didn't really come out like slush the last time. Let's add some of this. See if this works. I haven't like measured it, so. And then we'll do frozen cocktail, and then I'm going to bump it up one as well, because last time, yeah, it just didn't come out thick enough. So frozen cocktail, up one. And then we'll come back to this and see if it worked. I am on page 319 of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I am really enjoying this. It is flying by as I'm reading it. It's so like easily digestible. It does help that I am listening to the audiobook as I've been doing like some little tasks. I'm sure I'm like the last person on earth to have read this. So we follow Addie, and back in 1714, she ended up making a deal with the devil. And now she is like living forever, and she wanders the earth, and people forget her. Like as soon as she, you know, goes out of the room, or as soon as they go out of the room, pretty much as soon as they turn the back on her, they forget her. And so she's been living for like 300 years now. And yeah, so many people have forgotten her over time. And that's both like a blessing and a curse. Definitely though, I've seen like the curse side of it. Like I would have thought this kind of deal would have been pretty useful, especially if you want to travel the world and see the world and, you know, not have to worry about time. But yeah, the more I see of it, the more I'm like, maybe it would be a bad thing if that happened. Especially, for instance, like say if she stays at this inn and she pays for a room, you know, as soon as the person who sold her that room is like gone, they come back, they're like, who are you? How did you get in? You know what I mean? It's like, what do you do? Like, it's so tricky. And so I am fascinated by the entire concept of it. One thing I wish that we were focusing more on though, because like now she has found, is this in the summary? Yes, okay, it's in the summary, but she does end up meeting someone who does remember her. And so like the story was like feeling a little bit repetitive by the time we got to that point, but also I was like hoping that we would see more of the world through Addie's eyes and maybe like seeing the actual change in like, because like for instance, like her as a woman in 1700s, a lot of her options were limited. The immense oppression that women had back then, and even for like the next like 200 years as well, even up to now, to be honest, so much in terms of like women's rights and what women were allowed to do changed so much. And I feel like we've barely seen the change of the world at this point, you know what I mean? Like I am liking the story, don't get me wrong, but I kind of wish that we were focusing on like some different things. Oh, is Ash gonna jump up on top of there? Oh, go on, you can do it. Go on, jump on the top. No. Oh, and if Schwab writes the contours one more time, we had the contours of her curse, the contours of his skin, the contours of New York. I'm like, one more contours and I'm gonna hurl the contours of this book in the fucking bin. So many instances of that. But I mean, the writing is good. Like, I do like the writing. I can always tell though when an author is like trying really hard to be, you know, like flowery and pretentious. And this isn't my first rodeo with V.A. Schwab, but it is the first one I've read in quite some time. I did try Fragile Threads of Power earlier this year. I did DNF it. I just wasn't feeling it. But this one is a standalone. It's like not part of a series. And it had been so long since I read A Darker Shade of Magic. So yeah, I kind of just like fell out of that. But like I do know I like V.A. Schwab's writing. I like her middle grades, for instance, as well, like the City of Bones series. Really enjoy. Oh, Cassidy Blake, I think it's called. But yeah, I could definitely tell V.A. Schwab is like purposefully writing this, if you know what I mean. Like I can see the writing. I don't know if that makes a whole lot of sense. But no, so far so good. I am liking it. And I actually don't have that much further to go. But I will most likely finish it off tomorrow or Sunday. I don't really fancy reading more like heavy books right now. But one of the things that I was doing that was taking up a lot of my time, and I think I can hear one of the cats in the litter box. One of the things I was doing with my time was, and I will talk about this more in my library challenge video, definitely, because like, definitely. And I'll not go into too much detail, but I have sent off an email to a library, a very, very local library to me, about donating over 400 books. You know, the books I was supposed to donate to another local library to me. and I sent them a message last year, and they're now closed for renovations, and they're closed for like quite some time. So I've had these boxes of books for so long, and I've even had to add to this list as well from like the books I've on hold from like the end of last year to the start of this year. So I've added books on, and I will say I went to a brand new library a couple of weeks ago. It's volunteer led, and I spoke about donations and stuff, and they were like, we would honestly love to have donations. Like they were selling books, but also like they wanted books to like stock the shelves with, and like, yeah, volunteer led. So I was like, oh, this is perfect. And it's like a legitimate library as well. Like, don't worry, I'm not getting scammed. But it's not like really part of the funded library system, if you know what I mean. Like it is part of my library network, but not part of my like library system. Like I had to sign up for a new library card. Whereas if I went into a library that's part of my library system, I could just use the card that I had. You know what I mean? It's a little bit confusing. I don't quite understand it myself. But anyway, I sent off the email finally because they said, oh, just send us an email like of the list of books. We'll look over it and we'll let you know kind of thing. But they seem like really keen to take them. And yeah, hopefully they can, because I'm just sick of having these boxes, honestly. So that took me a little while to do. I'm not going to lie. It took me a little while to do to like, because I hadn't added all the books on from the last few months. And so I really had to like go through and like make sure that I had them and what I had to put on the list. So now that that's done, I'm going to wait for this cocktail slush, start drinking because, you know, it's Friday night, and read that. You know what I want to read. You know what I'm about to read, don't you? Okay, it made the beep like quite early. Like it still looks a little, I mean, it looks a little slushied. So let's give it a try. I know this isn't like a proper Passion Star Martini cup, but let's see if it worked. Let's see if it looks okay. Oh, actually, it does look pretty slushied. Like that looks pretty good for, you know, a frozen cocktail, right? Oh, that actually looks pretty good. And it didn't take any time at all. I don't know why it really failed when I had my friends here. Sure, I've got like a little straw. Let's give it a go. Time for the taste test. I hope I didn't put in too much syrup. I mean, it could definitely do with being like more frozen, but that is actually very, very good. Not too much syrup either. Oh, that's stunning. And I definitely do have too much, so I'm gonna have to make another glass. I feel like I can like leave it in and just like do this, but I don't really want to like waste the electricity or anything. So yeah, let's pour another glass. Let's put it in the fridge. Okay, I am now having my second and unfortunately final frozen cocktail, although it melted quite a bit in the fridge. Yeah, this is my second one. I'm already finding how to speak. It's been a little while since I've had a cocktail, because the ones I had with my friends a couple of weeks ago, those just didn't turn out quite right. This tastes very strong. So I am gonna now read You Shall Not Pass Without Sucking Me Off. Disclaimer, this is an adult novella not intended for children. You have been warned. I mean, I think the title kind of gives that away. But I will read out some of the funny bits because, yeah, it looks like it's only about like 30 pages, maybe not even that, maybe only like 20 pages. And this apparently does follow Cherry, who can't quench her desire to explore. So she sets off on a journey up the perilous Monster Mountain. Searching for a great treasure, she encounters a wizard. However, this wizard is much more horny than most. Cherry must weigh up his offer should she give in or continue. So, this little Lord of the Rings smut kind of... I don't even think it's a retelling of Lord of the Rings. It's just like if you encounter Gandalf and you had to pass him, but you can't pass him without sucking him off. Like, this is that story, you know? Very important literature. Oh yeah, so Cherry definitely does want to pass the Monster Mountain because she just loves exploring. I mean, not the best writing, but it's very straight to the point, you know? It took me literally 2 seconds to get to chapter 2. There's no page numbers. I'm about like 6 pages in or something, maybe 8 pages in. I haven't laughed once, like, come on. Somehow I'm getting bored. I was going to do a silent library episode and read this, but now I'm about like 12 pages in. Nothing has happened. I'm about to start chapter 3. I haven't laughed once. Okay, so she's an artist. She's an artist. She's been drawing different unusual flora and fauna she's discovered throughout the day. Oh, yes. Okay, now we've finally met the wizard. Kazam! A voice shouted. A puff of smoke appeared at the far end of the bridge. Is that how Gandalf appears in The Lord of the Rings? He goes, Kazam! That doesn't remind me of Beyonce in Austin Powers. Oh no, it's Shazam. Shazam! But Kazam, apparently. Oh, an old man with a long white beard appeared at the far end of the bridge. He was dressed in blue robes and a large peaked hat. Yeah, I guess the cover is accurate. He was frail and tall with long gangly arms. Who are you? Cherry shouted across, still with confusion painting her face. Oh, behold, for I am Randolph the Great. Not Gandalf, Randolph. Randolph the Great. I'm the great wizard, let it be known. Okay. What makes you so great? Right, okay, well, I'm just going to pass then, Cherry explained. You shall not pass, he roared. Without sucking me off, he said under his breath. Cherry's so confused. Her feet planted on the first few slats of wood on the bridge. You shall not pass, he roared. Without sucking me off, he said under his breath. This time quickly and more quietly. What was that? Cherry shouted back. You shall not pass, he shouted slightly annoyed. No, the last bit, Cherry shouted back. The wizard looked down and said something under his breath, muttering terms. Okay, so he's a very shy and demure wizard. Okay, like he knows what she has to do in order to pass because, you know, like rules are rules. But he's obviously a little bit embarrassed by it. So he's like talking very, very quietly and he doesn't actually want to say it out loud. The wizard looked down and said something under his breath, muttering himself as he twiddled the ends of his long white beard. Oh, he's embarrassed. That's so cute. Okay, so she's just trying to get past. Do not come closer, girl, he shouted. Oh, no, the old man was going to get in her way. Something tells me you're going to get a face full of nuts in a minute. Oh, so there's a wall. A clear wall of light, invisible and powerful. Couldn't get past it. You know what she's going to have to do? She's going to have to suck him off. You shall not pass, without sucking me off, the wizard declared. You perverted old man, what is wrong with you? She grunted in disgust. Literally, yeah, what is wrong with him? We've just met. If you want to pass, you have to pay the price, he chuckled widely. Did a little shimmy sort of dance. His feet tapping the old crook. Wait, so he's gone from quiet and demure to a full-on performer. The characterization in this book is not cohesive whatsoever. Are you being fucking serious? Cherry swore as she watched the old perverted wizard dance. You gotta pay the price, lady, or you shall not pass. He giggled. His beard moved with his jaw once again. Great treasure awaits beyond, he just said. Fine, Chelsea shouted stubbornly. How is she shouting that stubbornly? When literally all she had to hear was great treasure awaits beyond and she's already ready to make him lord of her ring. Oh my god. He walked up the barrier and traced a circle with his finger at waist level. The barrier seemed to dissipate in that area, leaving a perfect cylindrical opening. A magic glory hole, if you will. He's made a glory hole! He potted his robes. His large veiny rod was revealed in all its magical essence. Oh, Gandalf! Randolph! Probably didn't use Gandalf, you know, for copyright reasons. Tolkien will be rolling in his grave. It peeked up to the sky with a gentle curve. The glorious pink head glazed in his excitement. Positioned it to the hole and then thrust his hips forward, his proud member slipping through the opening onto Cherry's side of the barrier. This is perverted. Then you get Ian McKellen back for this. Cherry hesitated. It was bigger than she expected and far more meaty. She knelt on the wooden slats beneath her, grazing her bottom lip against his wet bell end. Salty sweet hit. I'm so sorry. Skip forward as well if you don't want to hear this. The salty sweet hit her tongue as she pressed her lips against it. I don't think that makes any sense. She opened her mouth, her lips parted to allow his sighs to enter. Wetness of the head. Why is it wet? Why is his head so wet? Is he really that? Oh my god. Wetness of the head made it easier to take as she slid her lips across the shaft, taking more of him down her throat. She gagged a little, caught in his in her wet saliva, letting it drip down the shaft onto his big balls. He's got big balls. She moved her head rhythmically up and down the shaft, her tongue lapping in circles inside her mouth. She could feel his rod pulsate. He was enjoying it. The wizard did not speak. He only let out soft grunts of pleasure at her actions. You fool of a took. Cherry kept going. She worked her tongue, licking him from the tip down to the end of the shaft, where her head met the barrier. His jumped with delight, pre-cum caught in the big pink head. She slurped it off straight away. She quite enjoyed its flavour. Just like I'm enjoying my Passion Star Martini. Her lips caressed his rod. Oh, she loves that word. As he seemed to grunt more, his breath quickening, she opened her mouth wide and wrapped her lips around him. She knew what was about to happen. The wizard's pulsated once again, then released his thick, hot seed into her mouth and straight down her throat. He didn't last very long, did he? There was so much of it, it flowed down, filling her tummy. Ew. She pulled away, wiping the residue off her lips as she stood to her feet. You paid the price. Now you shall pass. he hummed as he tapped the barrier with his wooden staff. Barrier disappeared almost instantaneously. Is it almost over already? Thank you, I guess. Cherry sighed as she walked forward with the wizard leading her forward. He walked slowly and carefully. I'm taking you to the treasure. That's what you want, isn't it? He chuckled. It is. What kind of treasure? Cherry asked. Oh, you will be pleased, he smirked. Okay, so he's joining her for the journey. We're on chapter 5. We are here, my dear, the old wizard shouted with glee. Behold, he spoke. Oh my god. The golden dong, he announced. Before him stood a phallic-shaped object that looked to be made out of pure gold. It was perfectly shaped, polished and proud as it stood amongst the dark grey of the cave walls. Is this for real? Cherry grunted, annoyance flooding her. She wanted treasure. She had come to find treasure. She had sucked this old wizard for treasure. She wanted treasure, not a golden dong. What is this? Cherry shouted. It's a golden dong, he explained. Like, come on, Cherry. It's a golden dong. What more is there to say about it? He pointed to it and waited. Cherry could not believe the old lunatic man, the pure cheek to make her come all the way here for this. Sit upon it, my dear. Experience the beauty of this ancient artifact. Cherry just stared at it and back at him. You want me to sit on that? Are you having a fucking laugh? Oh, actually, there isn't even an "ah" there. It's, are you having fucking laugh? She yelled, pink filling her cheeks. I promise you, what you seek is what I am telling of you. Oh, this needs some editing. This needs some editing, Missy, love. Cherry could only try. She walked up to the so-called golden dong, placing her hand against the cool, shiny surface. She lowered her bottoms and placed the tip against her lady flower. Look, just sit on it. You don't have to do all this. This is doing too much. It would slide in easily. She positioned herself and let her body weight push herself down until she had taken the entire length. As soon as she did, she felt it. Overwhelming power flowed through her. Flushed through her, even. The wizard laughed wildly with joy in his eyes. This treasure was not just a treasure, it was ancient and powerful. It sent sparks through Cherry's body, making her body twitch with overwhelming pleasure. Her flower lips hugged it, clinging to it. Some lips. She wanted it so badly as it sent more sparks inside of her. Her body tingled with excitement, overflowing out of her into gentle moans of ecstasy. Yes, yes, the pervy old wizard moaned as his was fully erect again. Oh my god. He rubbed it as he watched her. Oh my god, Gandalf, no! Cherry just moaned, her eyes rolling back in her head as she began moving up and down on it. Every movement made her body shake. Pleasure, pleasure, and more pleasure. It was wonderful. Her kitty purred as the gold rubbed against the sensitive lips, the slight ribs in the metal making her inner walls tremble. Each sensation more than the last satisfying, yet not enough. Oh my god, what you gonna do? What you gonna do next? The old wizard got closer as he stroked himself with furious delight. His proud member pulsating in Cherry's direction, ready to explode. Cherry did not care. All she cared about was the pleasure the golden dong was providing her with. She bounced and bounced, letting it fill her body, her soul. The wizard groaned as his thick, hot juice splattered all over Cherry. You dirty bastard! Shooting toward her at high velocity. Oh, that's got to be a health and safety hazard right there. She was covered. That's when she climaxed too, her wetness spraying out as she screamed to the heavens. Her body shook with absolute delight. It was fantastic. Well, thank you for telling me that, Missy love. Well, I told you, didn't I? The wizard smiled. Cherry stood up, her legs threatening to collapse, her body still unraveling from the amazing feeling she had just experienced. A truly powerful artifact indeed, she panted. Oh, that's not almighty yet. Oh my god, there's more? The wizard smiled sheepishly. Cherry looked up at him with a confused face. She had no idea what he was talking about, and at this point she had no idea if her mind would be able to comprehend it. I don't think my mind could comprehend it either. The gift has bestowed on you. You have magic now. That's how a wizard is born. He laughed wildly as he twiddled his white beard. I'm what? Cherry asked. A wizard and the new guardian of the golden dong. Oh. Cherry was all but too stunned to speak shit, so she's got to look after it now. I've ridden that thing many times, what a delight, but it's my turn to pass the baton. Wait, so Randolph has been riding this golden dong? Look, I knew. It is Pride Month. I should have known he was a bit homo. But you know, a mouth's a mouth. So when Cherry came along, he must have just been like, well, you're the new guardian now. One day I'm sure another traveller will come along and you can get them to sit on it instead. The wizard grinned as he dropped his staff. Oh, and stay away from the ogres, they live near here. Be careful of the goblins too. Horny little fuckers they are. Kazam! He shouted as he disappeared into a cloud of white silky smoke. The end. Okay, I need a sequel. I definitely need a sequel. That was shit. That was so shit. It wasn't even that funny. I want my fucking money back. I want the £2.99 I paid for it back.
Hello, beautiful. Hello again. Hello. Oh, hello.
Haven't seen you in a couple of weeks. Oh, I haven't seen you in a couple of weeks, have I? No, I haven't. Oh. Oh, you're dirty now. You're dirty now. Hello. Hello. Oh, I've got to go. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Are you coming to the gym with me? Is that where we're going? This is so cute. Lead the way. Lead the way. You go home, okay? You go home. Don't want yourself getting lost. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay, that is one more book finished, and it is a book that's been on my TBR for about 5 years. So it's really nice to like tick something off, and I liked it. I did like it. It's gonna be a 3-star though. I don't think it did anything too new or original. I know this came out a long time ago now. It definitely came out before a lot of the middle grades that I end up loving that do the same thing. So this one does have this heavy focus on a prophecy that Gregor is kind of like trying to decipher as the book goes on, as he's also looking for his father. He's also trying to navigate Underland. And yeah, it was a very paint by numbers kind of middle grade. And you know what? Sometimes that's fine. Sometimes that's absolutely fine. I liked it, but I just didn't really feel a whole lot towards it. And maybe it could be the kind of mood that I'm in. You know, I'm just not really gravitating towards like middle grade in general, to be honest. Even though I do desperately want to make sure that I do still dip into it every now and then just to remind me of the good times. And there's still like quite a lot on my TBR that I am very interested in reading. I will pitch to my patrons as well. My book club is in an hour. So I will pitch to them the kind of options that I fancy. Like some of the middle grades that I really do fancy. We have Scandon the Unicorn Thief. I'm very interested in reading. Begone the Raggedy Witches. I'm also like very, very interested in reading still. Those might be the only two at the minute. So I will probably put it towards them and see what they might end up fancying reading for the next one. And then I might have to drop the middle grade book club on Patreon. I might have to like try and replace that with something else. We do have the Young Adult and Adult book club, which next month we are doing Don't Let the Forest In by C.J. Drews. That one will be a reread because I did just read it recently, forgetting that it was going to be a book club pick. But yeah, back to Gregor, it was fine. I feel like maybe it also felt a little bit younger than I kind of enjoy, because we do have Boots, who is technically a main character, even though she is, you know, the sister, the 2-year-old sister of Gregor, and Gregor is the main character, but Boots, she does have a lot of attention, and her presence, I think, does make the book seem younger than it is, because there is a lot of almost like baby talk, and a lot of the times Gregor does have to look after her, and while she is very cute, it did make the book feel younger. It did. So maybe that's another reason why I just didn't really like fully love this one. It read younger than I typically like in a middle grade. So who knows, maybe if I read like Begone the Raggedy Witches or Scandon the Unicorn Thief, maybe one of those will feel a bit older and I'll be like, oh yeah, this is the kind of middle grade that I love. But you know, I'm glad I gave this a go. And to the person who gifted me this all those years ago, finally, thank you so much. I do appreciate it so much too. And I liked it. I gave it 3 stars. You know, it's good. It just wasn't a favourite. So I will be doing my book club very, very soon. And I do need to finish Invisible Life Valley LaRue. But I believe I'm doing Sprints with Sandra tomorrow from Got a Thing for Things. She did ask me very randomly yesterday or the day before if I could do sprints with her on her channel. So I said, sure, why not? So I think I'm going to be doing some sprints. And then I have my Once Upon a Time watch along in the evening. So I will definitely finish this tomorrow. At the minute, I also need to try and find where I can watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which is what I'm going to be watching with Elle from Elliot Brooks. It will be on, I think, her Full Metal Analysis channel, which is her manga channel. And she did ask me if we could do like 16 episodes of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood every 2 weeks. So like pretty much 8 episodes a week. And I do want to try and watch 8 episodes this week and then 8 episodes next week before we do it's either going to be a live show or pre-recording or something. And I do want to try and keep to that schedule because I could end up getting easily overwhelmed if I leave it last minute. So I need to watch 8 episodes of that. So I might try and do that after the book club tonight. Or at least I started. Maybe I could watch like 4 episodes today and 4 episodes tomorrow. Maybe, oh no, I don't know if I have time for that. Yeah, especially if I need to finish Invisible Life. Okay, I will see where I can watch it. I'll watch maybe 8 tonight. I don't know. I don't even know how long they are. I think they're like 20 minutes maybe. I've never seen Full Metal Alchemist, by the way. And I haven't read the manga either. I read the first volume of the manga years ago and I liked it. But this will be my first time experiencing the story all the way through properly. And yeah, I can't complain either because, you know, I'm watching anime. And I haven't watched anime in so long. Just to, you know, break up this week too, because I feel like I've done a lot of work this week. And I am, again, still filming my month in the life video. And it does feel like I'm just going work. But with that said, I do need to film a clip for the month in the life video next. So let's do that. And then I need to prep for this live show. Hey, okay. It is on Netflix in the UK. So I can watch all 64 episodes on here, which is very handy. I did check Crunchyroll first, but it wasn't on Crunchyroll. But yeah, I don't know if it's dub or sub. I'm hoping it's dub, just so I can get the pronunciations of the characters. And maybe it has both. I don't know. Let's just double check. Hey, you can see me. I never do this. Subtitles. Oh, okay. So you can do both, and then you can have the subtitles. Okay, perfect. Absolutely perfect. I will get pronunciations first, and then I might change to the sub version. I'll see what Elle thinks. Okay, I've just come back from the gym and they have started to do lemon drizzle protein pancakes. They've been doing solid caramel pancakes for weeks and I have them all the time. But it's so nice to have something different and I cannot wait to try this. So I will try that tomorrow. But also they're doing like meals now as well. So I'm going to cancel Thrive and do these meals instead. So we've got like salt and pepper chicken, southern fried chicken. They look so good. And I've had this before. It was very, very nice. But I haven't had this yet, so I'm very excited to try it. And of course, I still get my overnight oats, solid caramel overnight oats that they do. So nice. I've just joined Sandra on Sandra's channel for her 10th anniversary reading sprint, and Cecilia is there as well. And yeah, we're having some fun right now. We've just started the first sprint, and I am going to continue reading The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I'm hoping to get these finished today, hopefully before I have my live show tonight with my patrons for Once Upon a Time. We'll see if I can end up managing that, though. I think I will. Like, I really do want to get this finished today. I probably should have read more last night instead of watching Full Metal, but what are you going to do? I did end up enjoying the first 6 episodes of Full Metal Alchemist, by the way. Although it's so fucked up. I was not expecting it to be that dark and that grim and that depressing and a little bit gory as well. And oh my god, something happened. Was it episode 4? Let me have a check. I have written down so many notes because this is, you know, in preparation for the discussion and stuff. Yeah, episode freaking 4. If you know, you know. I was scarred. Like, literally, I cannot believe it. Like, what? Yeah, very, very dark. Darker than I was anticipating. But I'm enjoying it so far. I still have 10 episodes to watch before Friday, which I might try and get some more watched tonight after Once Upon a Time, potentially. But we'll see about that. Also, this is the first time I've worn my Cheetah Girls hoodie in absolute months. Actually, I don't think I've worn it since, like, Christmas, maybe. Maybe I wore it in January, but, like, this is the first time I've worn it in absolute months. And it feels way too big now. So I might have to try and order one that is a size down, because this is like my favorite hoodie And it just feels a little bit too big now. I did just do the gym this morning, so I have been in the shower and I am all good and stuff, but it's very, very big now. Whereas it used to fit pretty nicely. Like, it was still, like, a little big, but it was, like, very comfortable. Because I wore it when I did my camping outside vlog last October. And yeah, it fit absolutely fine. And now it's just maybe a little bit too big. So that's reassuring as well that, you know, my training is working out. So if I'm going to finish Invisible Life, I'm going to have to, like, get straight back into it. We're going to have to get straight into these sprints. Come on. Actually, how long do I have left on the audiobook? That will be a good indication to see if I do end up getting it finished today. Okay, it says 3 hours and 5 minutes left. So that would take like 4 sprints, 4 1-hour sprints or thereabouts. I could bump up the speed a little bit because I'm on 2.3. Okay, I'm under 2.4 now. I've got 2 hours and 58 minutes. Let's see if that works. Okay, I have just yeeted myself from Sandra's sprint. Sandra, if you're watching, thank you so much for allowing me the chance to finish The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue today. So the sprints were very, very productive. And yeah, I have just finished this book like 10 minutes ago. I will probably give it 3 stars. Didn't love that fact that a lot of this was surface level. I'm just going to say it. There is this massive concept of someone living for 300 years and we barely see any change in not just her as a character, but like the world. Like, yes, 300 years has passed. Could have been 300 days for like the amount of depth that the writing had in terms of like showing us what had happened. Like, for instance, we'll just get told, oh, she had seen revolutions and war. She had seen cities being burned down and remade. She had witnessed miracles. And yeah, we didn't see a single thing. We didn't see a single thing there. Instead, what we got was like 500 pages of a character living with the consequences of their actions. And I feel like, you know, when you learn all these languages over 300 years, we don't really get to see how she utilizes that. We don't really get to see her like travel the world. Or like outside of Europe, for instance. Like, we don't actually get to see other continents. We don't get to see other cultures or anything like that to really like open your eyes to like living for 300 years. I don't know, I just feel like the concept of the story was far too big for Schwab's writing. You know what I mean? This is me bashing on Schwab, by the way. I think she has written some fantastic books in the past. But honestly, I don't really care too much about characters getting to know one another. There was a little bit of romance, but I kind of hate the fact that was kind of a focal point of this book. Because genuinely, I would have loved to have seen Addie explore the world and see more of it and just like show us how these wars in civil wars and all of this has changed her as a person and changed the world too, like changed the landscape. How did it change politics? How did it change your living like circumstances? Obviously, her situation is so unique and so different because everyone's forgetting her, apart from one person, as soon as she, you know, leaves the room or as soon as they leave the room. So I get some of that's kind of hard, but I genuinely felt like the scenes that happened in the 1700s versus the scenes that happened in 2014, other than like some like basic kind of technological advancements, they could have been written in the same time period. Genuinely, because I just felt like there was no change really, other than, you know, like maybe a coffee machine or shit like that. But like, that's like very surface level, like that's very standard stuff. I just felt like Addie was the exact same from the start to the end. And I feel like the progression of the plot, the structure, it stayed the same. It stayed the same throughout. So I was just like a little bit disappointed then. I am still giving this book 3 stars though. Like, I'm not bashing on this book too much. Like, I didn't hate it. I didn't dislike it or anything. I just feel like there was just so much missed potential. Like, I can see it and I could see how great this could have been had Schwab actually been a little bit more brave in exploring how these certain events have like changed her as a character, changed Addie as a character, changed the people around her, or at least like her observations of the people around her. I just felt like this was too big. Like, the idea was too big. And I can't say I was the biggest fan of the ending or like some of Addie's decisions by the end. I mean, there is another character I liked, Henry, who is the person who remembers Addie. Like, I kind of liked him and I kind of liked learning more about him and his own life and circumstances. So that was all fine and well. Characters were fine, but you know what, even after like 300 years, you have to have met some colourful characters, and I just don't really feel like this was filled with colour, like literally as well. Like, I don't even remember any of the characters being a colour other than white. I mean, maybe there was, and I just kind of missed it, but I'm still like 300 years, and you're still fucking missionary? Like, come on. Live a little, girl. Live a little. The other Schwab books that I need to read are things like Vicious Vengeful, This Savage Song, The Dog Duet, or whatever. Those are some of her earlier books. and books that really took BookTube by storm like 10 years ago. I still want to read them. I still own them. But in terms of picking up new V.A. Schwab books, I don't think I'm bothered. I don't think I'm bothered anymore. It took me 5 years to finally get to Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and I'm like, meh. I mean, I might lower it to a 2.5, potentially. 3, 2.5, like very in the middle of the road. But don't let the contours of my rating of that book put you off. I mean, if you want to still read Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, it's been on your TBR for 5 years, do it. Read it, I would say. So what a very chill, actually, like a very random ass chilled week, I want to say. Like, it has been very odd. Like, usually I have a little bit more structure. I feel like a little bit all over the place. I did manage to read my 100th book, called Doomsday Scenario by Matt Dinniman. I'm so happy. I'm so happy I read that. Even a few days later, like, how long's it been now? Like 4 days since I read it? Maybe 5. Yeah, I am still thinking how happy it made me. So even though I only gave it 4 stars, I feel like in my heart of hearts, it's kind of like a 5-star just for making me happy. But it's a 4-star. It is a 4-star. I know myself. My 101st book was You Shall Not Pass Without Sucking Me Off. This book did not make me happy. It barely made me laugh. So unfortunately, that one was a dud. Then I read Gregor, the Overlander. And honestly, after talking to my patrons about this in the book club, I have a bit more of a positive outlook on this too. Like, the more I think about it, the more I do enjoy this one also. And I kind of love how a lot of the themes that we find in the Hunger Games, for instance, in terms of like government, in power, and oppression, like that is kind of still prevalent in her middle grade, which came before the Hunger Games. So I kind of love the fact that you can't really tell it's written by Suzanne Collins, like stylistically, but you can thematically. So I kind of like the connection there. And then, yeah, I finally read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. And yeah, I mean, I'm glad I read it. Like, I'm so glad I read it, and I can tick that off and take it off my TBR and not have to look it on my shelves and be like, damn, like that one is showing its age. It's starting to show its age. Just like me, just like me. Anyway, that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to leave this video a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave all the comments down below. Let me know if you read any of the books that I read in this video. Was there anything that you agreed with, disagreed with, anything that you did during your week that you want to tell me about? Please just let me know. I just want to chat down below. I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons for supporting my channel. If you'd like to join my Patreon, then the link is in the description box. But yeah, I hope I will see you in the next video. Bye.